Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss the topic internal structure of human heart and the conducting system of the human heart from the chapter respiration and circulations. So let us see the first point, that is the internal structure of human heart. We know that the human heart consisting of the mainly four chambers. So first the superior chambers, two superior chambers are known as the atrium and two inferior chambers are known as the ventricles. Okay. Now these are the two atrium and this two ventricles. Let us say first atria or the auricles. Atria, these are the thin wall receiving chambers, and these two chambers are separated from each other by the interatricular or interauricular septum. At the base of this interauricular septum, there is a small oval depressions. This small oval depressions, it is known as the fossa ovalis. In embryonic conditions, it is the remnant of the small apertures. It is known as the foramen ovalis. Okay. Now here this two atrium, there is a three large blood vessels are present. That is the superior vena cava, which collect the deoxygenated blood from the upper part of the body, and then the inferior vena cava, which collect the deoxygenated blood from the lower part of the body, and the coronary sinus. All these are open into this right right atrium here. And then one of the important point, that this inferior vena cava and the coronary sulcus, these are guided by the specialized wall. This postcaval vein or the inferior vena cava, it is guided by the eustachian wall, and the coronary sinus, it is guided by this Thebesian wall. These are the two important walls present in this right atrium, which prevent the backward flow of the blood. Okay. Now here on this left atrium, this pulmonary vein, there are the two pairs of the pulmonary veins, two left pulmonary vein and the right pulmonary veins. These are open into this left atrium, and these are receive the blood, oxygenated blood from the lungs. Okay. Now these two atrium, these are open into the ventricle by the apertures. This right atrium, it is open into the right ventricle by this right atrioventricular apertures, and this left atrium, it is open into the left ventricle by this left atrioventricular or the auriculoventricular apertures. Then both of these apertures, it is guided by the specialized wall, cusp like walls. Okay. Then this wall here, that this right atrium, it is open into the right ventricle by this small aperture, and this aperture, it is guided by this specialized wall. This wall is known as the bicuspid wall. This bicuspid wall, it is the most important. It is also known as the mitral wall. These walls are prevent the backward flow of the blood from the ventricles to the auricles. Then there is another wall will be present in between these auricles and the ventricle. This wall, which guide these apertures. This is the aperture, which through these apertures, this blood, deoxygenated blood will be comes from this atrium to the ventricle, and this wall is known as this tricuspid wall. Okay. Now here about the atrium, then the ventricle. Now let us see about the ventricle. We know that there are the two chambers of the ventricles, that is the right ventricle and the left ventricles. Okay. Then these ventricles, these are the thick wall distributing chambers. Means that these are distribute the body, or they are these ventricles, these are dispatch the blood to the whole body, or toward the lungs for the purification of the blood. Now here that the wall of this ventricle, it shows the number of the ridges and gyres. Ridges are present. These ridges are known as the sulcus and the gyres. Then this sulcus or gyre, ridges and gyre, it shows the small packets, and due to this ridges and gyre, it increases the surface area of this ventricle, and much more amount of the blood will be stored, or sometimes the blood will be stored in the ventricles. Then here there is a certain elastic fiber will be present which are attaches to this wall of this ventricles. These elastic fibers are known as the cordy tendon, and then this cordy tendon, these are help to open and close this bicuspid and the tricuspid wall, and with the help of this cordy tendon, it helps to maintain the opening and the closing of these apertures, and due to this the blood cannot be reversed from this ventricle to the auricles. Okay, and this again, these are the cordy tendon, these are the pulmonary carni here, and one of the important things that this left ventricle, it is much more thicker, its wall will be much more thick, or it is thicker as compared to the right ventricle. Left ventricle will be much more thicker or thick wall as compared to the right ventricle, because that this left ventricle, it store the oxygenated blood and it pump the oxygenated blood to the whole body. So due to this regions, that this left ventricle, the wall of this left ventricle, it is much more thicker as compared to this 3 to 4 times thicker as compared to this right ventricles. Then here that this left ventricle, it's blood from this aorta, and it supply the whole body, and this right ventricle, from this right ventricle, that is the pulmonary artery will be arises, pulmonary trunk will be arises, and this pulmonary trunk, it transfer this blood toward the lungs for its purification. Means that this right ventricle, it supply the impure blood to the lungs for the purifications, and the left ventricle, it supply the blood to or distribute the blood to the whole body. So it is about the internal structure of the human heart. Now next point, that is the conducting system of human heart. Conducting system, it is a system which regulate or which control the working of heart, or it initiate the pumping action of the heart, or it initiate the working of the heart. Now this conducting system, it consisting of the 4 main components. The first components, that is the SA node. SA node, it is also known as the sinoatrial node. The sinoatrial node, it acts as the pacemaker. Then this SA node or the sinoatrial node, it is present in the wall of right atrium. This is the location. Actually, these are the specialized tissues present in the wall of this right atrium. Then this right atrium, this SA node, it initiates the wave of contractions. It initiates the wave, and how this wave of contraction will be initiated? It is due to the flow of the blood from the superior vena cava. We know that here that the superior vena cava, it opens into this right atrium. So this flow of the blood, it stimulates this SA node, and due to the stimulation of the SA node, the wave of contraction will be initiated. Then this wave of contraction will be spread up to the wall of this atrium, and then to the wall of this left atrium, right atrium firstly, and then the left atrium, and then this wave of contraction will be received by the another components of this conducting system. This is known as the AV node, that is the atrioventricular node. This atrioventricular node, it is also present in the right atrium at the base of the interatrial septum or interauricular septum. Interauricular septum, it is the septum of the partition which divides this auricle into the two parts, that is the right atrium and the left atrium. So that at the base of this interatrial septum, this specialized tissues will be present. This tissue is known as the atrioventricular node, or it is also known as the AV nodes. Okay, this is the AV node. Then this AV nodes, it receive this wave of contraction. Then this AV node, from this the muscle fibers will be arises, and it will be divided into the two branches. Okay, then this fibers, this specialized fibers, it will be divided into the branches, and it runs through this interventricular septum, and then it again bifurcate into the many branches, and it will be spread to the wall of this ventricles. And then lastly here, that this is these branches, or these two branches, are known as the bundle of His. Okay, means that this AV node, it divides into these two branches of the muscle fibers. These are known as the bundle of His. Then here, these fibers again bifurcate into the many branches, and it will be spread through this wall of this ventricles. Here again, it will be bifurcated into the many branches, and it will be spread to the wall of ventricles, and there is the bunch of the fibers. These are known as the Purkinje fibers. Okay, and then this wave of contractions, it will be the impulses. These impulses will be received by this AV node. Then this impulses will be transferred to this bundle of His, and then it will be spread up to the Purkinje fibers, and then this impulses, it will be spread to the wall of this complete ventricles, and as a result of this, the ventricle will be contracted, and after some times the whole heart will be relaxed. And that firstly that the atrium will be contracted. How this atrium will be contracted? That is the wave of the contraction will be initiated from this SA node, and then this wave of contraction, it will be spread to this wall of this ventricle. Firstly that right ventricle, and then first right atrium, and then the left atrium, and then as the result of this, the first atrium will be contracted, and then this wave of contraction, it will be received by this atrium, by this AV node, and this it will be spread. It will be reaches to this bundle of His, and then the Purkinje fibers, and then lastly that is this wave of contraction will be, or impulses will be spread to the wall of this ventricle, and as the result of this, the complete ventricle will be contracted, and after some times this whole complete heart will be relaxed. So it is known as the contraction. In this way, that the contraction and the relaxation of the heart will be takes place. The contraction of the heart, it is known as the systole, and the relaxation of the heart, it is known as the diastole. And after this, in this way, that the working of the heart will be takes place, and how this contraction and relaxation of the heart takes place, how blood will be comes from these ventricles, and what is its timing. All these things will be seen in the next video. So today we'll discuss about this, where we will discuss about these 2 points, that is the internal structure of the human heart and the conducting system of the human heart. Okay, so if you like my video, then press like button. If any queries, any comments on my video, then write in the comment box, and subscribe in the channel. So for subscription, press the subscription buttons. Okay, thank you very much.